How's it going? How are you? How's every little thing? This video is just about kind of the survival knife theory. What's the best survival knife for Australia? Now, I've done a few expeditions now where, for the purpose of review, I've taken a big old survival knife like this out into my area of Australia. My area of Australia is, a lot of it is riverside, a lot of it is you know, close to the river but still really arid is what my environment is. Lots of standing dead gum trees, you know, and if you do the sort of the scout philosophy of trying to leave, you know, no trace, you're probably just going to be trying to cut standing dead trees or picking up your standard, you know, branches and sticks off the ground, maybe doing a bit of dragging of logs and that sort of thing. I guess with me, my particular environment, one of these knives isn't particularly useful, and it's really, even in a recreational sense, but even in, I would stretch over to even a survival sense, I really can't see that many instances where I would have wanted to have something this big and this heavy on me. So I'm sort of been thinking more, you know, as fun as these things are to have and take and admire and that sort of thing, in my area of South Australia, which is, you know, the Murray-Mallee area, with, you know, I'll obviously be showing some bits and bobs of what it looks like. It's just not that much use carrying something this big. Not that it's not, you know, a hindrance, not that it's a particular hindrance. I mean, you might have it on your hip and never use it, and as long as you're not bothered by the extra weight, whatever. It might be a bit of peace of mind in case you're attacked by someone or something, I guess. But yeah, in terms of actually using, well, I guess it comes down to that Australian wood is really hard. So our standing dead wood is really hard. So hard to the point that even a lot of smaller axes won't really do very well against it. It is glassy inside. It usually gets eaten by white ants, which makes the wood powdery and dirty, which really does hasten the edge degradation of most knives and axes even. What I've found most success with when I go, you know, camping recreationally is a smaller knife and a folding saw. So something like this Bussey Team Gemini here, while it's huge, is really not particularly you know, worthwhile. Our tasks here are mainly geared towards water collection and purification. That's the thing that's really going to bother you here if you're, you know, out perhaps a bit longer than you should be. You could use this, I guess, to dig for water. It's a big steel bar, I suppose. But really, where I am, there's lots of river, lots of stream sides, lots of ponds. But yeah, then lots of vast swathes of, you know, salt bush land around it. So the tasks that you usually see these big knives being used for, which is chopping like sort of pine style trees, like softwood trees, or splitting wood, really don't get done too much where I am. Like, I actively have to look around for examples to be able to put these you know, through when I'm looking to do a review of a knife like this. Because really, it's not something I would actually need to do. So because it's enjoyable and because it's entertaining to watch and because it's kind of fun to do, obviously I look and I try and, you know, I try and fill that, you know, niche or need for the viewer. But it's really something that I probably don't actually have to ever do, as in splitting wood, where I am at the very least. So I find that when I go sort of by choice, I like to carry sort of a lighter and thinner knife, still a strong knife, strong is always good, and then yeah, a folding saw, maybe even a Leatherman, sometimes an axe, but really even an axe to do the things that I've found myself needing to do. In terms of my wood collection and fire making, it is generally not such a trial as it is, I guess, in the other places of the world. So I just thought this would be a bit of interesting commentary on what I actually need where I camp and where I sort of play out in the wilds, and you know what the rest of you might do, because I'm sure the rest of you, I have no doubt that this is a really useful tool if you are needing to get to the center of wood, or if you are needing to, you know, if you don't want to carry an axe and you need to fell some saplings to make a sort of fire or something like that. I just look where I am, and I actually really struggle to put these things to use. So just interesting to see what everyone else's opinions are and what everyone else's uses are of their tools, because yeah, I'm actually interested to hear, especially other Australians. I had a video up a while back called Survival Knife Theory, and you know, what's the best survival knife for Australia, and someone pointed out that, and he was absolutely right, that we are a really varied temperate country. So there are forest areas where this might be the dream tool. So I'm really interested to hear from other Australians especially, but also from wherever you are. I might just put a poll up on the screen to see what sort of knife you know, not when you're thinking of going out for fun, like when you're thinking of, I just want to take a big knife and dick around with it, which is totally fine, of course, that's awesome. But in terms of what you actually need, I'd love to see, if you wouldn't mind clicking on the poll up in the top corner of what your sort of, I'll try and have as many options as I can think of. And yeah, for sure, I'd love to see what the majority of folks use. Yeah, it's just fascinating to me. So that's just this little quick note video, just while I'm out here doing this bussy shot. I just thought it was relevant because as fun as this knife is, I don't think it's actually that useful for where I am. Anyway guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.